left-hand side, folks, you'll see some homes around this lagoon. These were used for 12 seasons of Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, as Cabot Cove.
Yo, stop it! Hold the line! Clear! Clear!
That's a shark. That's a shark.
As we sneak around this corner, take a peek down the neighborhood on the left-hand side of the tram. That's where they're shooting Parenthood today. House on your right-hand side here is our chicken ranch. This was originally built for the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton. And it's been used in many more films and TV shows since then. Those appearing on your screen. It's a great example of a practical set. We can shoot both inside and outside of that. And it looks like they're setting up for Parenthood meals there. You know, no matter who lived there, they always have the wackiest neighbors back here. Welcome to one of TV's most talked about streets, Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives. Let me show you guys around the neighborhood. Starting on your left-hand side, this beige and white house belonged to Gabrielle, played by Eva Longoria. The pink house next door belonged to Bob and Lee in the final seasons. The yellow house belongs to Susan, played by Terry Hatcher. On your right-hand side, that perfect little blue and brick house, of course, belonged to Bree, played by Marsha Cross. And the green house on your left-hand side belonged to Lynette, played by Felicity Huffman. Now, after season 1 of Desperate Housewives, the homes on Wisteria Lane actually ended after Lynette's greenhouse. But between seasons 1 and 2, they actually built 2 more houses at the end of the street, as well as this park in the middle. The pink house at the very end of the street is where Nicolette Sheridan and Vanessa Williams' characters live. And that's also a house we can shoot inside of as well as outside. But, you know, no matter, even though you can shoot inside of the house, there's still nothing like your homes or my homes. The ceilings are all open to the rafters so that they can hang the lights there. And even though they might have vents in the wall to look like air conditioning, there's not real air conditioning or heat in those homes either because they're too loud for the sound. Now, before the Housewives moved in, this was known as Colonial Street, and it's where many music videos and commercials have been shot. Tom Hanks shot the comedy The Burbs here, and lots of TV shows like The Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, The Munsters, and it's also a frequent location for the Mindy Project. Now that you've seen the neighborhood in person, here's how it looked on Desperate Housewives.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
What the heck? Let's move that!
Desperate Housewives enjoyed a very successful 9-season run on ABC. And you might be thinking, hey, that's ABC. We're NBC Universal. Why are they shooting here? Well, in reality, all the networks and studios rent space from each other's lots, depending on their needs. We are one of the biggest lots here, so a lot of the studios will rent from us. And it's mostly just one big, happy entertainment family with some very friendly competition in the ratings. So far, most of the sets we've seen on the tour today are pretty realistic looking, but sometimes Our scripts call for sets that are just a little more fanciful, and we have to make them from scratch. There's no better example of that than Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And we've got some amazing exterior Whoville sets for you. So get those cameras out. On your right-hand side, we're going to curve around here. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is one of the largest productions to ever film on the Universal lot. They shot in 10 sound stages and huge portions of the back lot. They needed over 2,000 linear feet of styrofoam to build all these sets, enough artificial snow to cover 9 football fields. And I know those Who's always had the Grinch to worry about as an awful neighbor, but out here on the back lot, they might have had a worse one. Norman Bates. On your right-hand side now are 2 of the most famous sets still standing in Hollywood, the Bates Motel, and up on the hill there you'll see the Psycho House, both from Hitchcock's Psycho. Whoa, wait a second. That's kind of weird. Who is that guy? Teresa, do you know who that guy is? I don't know what, I thought this area was closed and wow. Whoa, is that Norman Bates? Oh my goodness. Why is he putting someone in the trunk? That's weird. That's like not okay. Is he looking at us? Oh my gosh. Hi Norm, how are you? These are just my guests for the tour, and don't worry, he's got a knife. All right, let's get out of here. Oh my goodness. Don't worry, Norm. These people don't post their pictures. We didn't see anything. Nothing.
Hi, bro.
That was a close one, guys. Now, I think that his mother might still live in the Psycho House. Take a look in the upstairs window, and if she's there, will you give her a piece of your mind about her son's manners towards guests? Really? Very unsavory business there. We are entering now one of the most spectacular sets ever created. Incredible. Please sit down, sir. Please sit down. We will come to a stop so that you can stand up, but please stay seated while the tram is moving. This is the plane crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. And this is actually the neighborhood that Tom Cruise hides out in the film. That is an actual airplane. All right, folks, if you'd like to stand up to take pictures, you may do so now.
Airplane crash site is all designed around sit down and talk about War of the Worlds. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see. You're doing good. Close your eyes, okay? Come close. Robbie, get in. Get in.
All right, folks, if you can all take your seats, we're going to get going. Now, like I said, this is an actual Boeing 747 aircraft that was bought and destroyed specifically for this movie. It only cost them $60,000 to buy the airplane from an airplane graveyard. Yeah, a real thing. However, moving it here from the graveyard to the Universal lot cost them $200,000. Well, you know, it's always the shipping and handling that'll get you. Despite the use of those life-size realistic sets, Spielberg still used over 500 special effects shots in War of the Worlds, which is more than he's used in any other movie. That's a lot. On your right-hand side, you'll see our log cabin. This was originally built for The Great Outdoors, a movie starring Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. It's also been seen in episodes of Parenthood and Desperate Housewives. Whenever those housewives would go to a cabin, this was the cabin. Now I know, they were supposed to be different cabins. But what we do is our art department, or the set decorators, they'll fill it with different furniture, different curtains, different paintings. and then it looks like a different log cabin. It's really fun. Behind it, you're going to see one of the world's largest freestanding backdrops. That was originally built for Jaws: The Revenge. And there we painted the backdrop like the sky, and then filled the basin in front of it with water. And for Jaws: The Revenge, they actually had to dye the water a very specific blue because they needed this footage to match footage they'd already shot in the Bahamas, so it had to look exactly like the real ocean. Unfortunately, actor Michael Caine's hair was such a light blonde color that whenever he did one take, his hair would come out and it was dyed blue. So they'd have to change it, wash his hair between takes. Battleship shot here, as did ABC's Revenge. Pirates of the Caribbean is shot here for a scene where mermaids attack the boat. That was shot right here. And more recently, Leonardo DiCaprio's movie Inception was shooting out here as well. We don't have to use the backdrop as the sky though. We can also use it as it is now, painted bright blue for CGI or computer generated imagery. And we don't have to just fill that basin with water, we can also fill it with sand and make it look like the desert, like they did here for Charlie's Angels. CGI is becoming so common in the last decade. It's really revolutionized the way films are made. It allows filmmakers to make literally anything they can think of come to life exactly as they envision it in their mind. It's like seeing somebody's dream come to life. In fact, it's becoming so common you might not even recognize it when you see it. For example, remember this scene from New York Street?
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No.
Well, surprise, surprise, that was actually CGI. Jimmy Fallon shot that on a green screen inside of the soundstage.
Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
And then they dropped in the New York Street background
Cool,
in what we call post-production. And now, folks, we have reached the post of this production. That's right, we're nearing the end of our tour here. And on behalf of Teresa, myself, and everyone here at NBC Universal, we do hope you've enjoyed this look behind the scenes at over 100 years of moments and memories at Universal Studios. To my annual pass holders, a special shout out and thank you to you guys for being here with us today. If you're